Hello everyone!
Welcome back to the Allotment Family Diary.
In this episode, I'll be showing you how to plant carrot seeds. We'll also be putting down wildflower seeds and giving the plot a little bit of a tidy up.
And I'll be showing you how to repot your seedlings.
We managed to get the rest of the potatoes in, rest of the earlies. They're all done. We've got 7 rows of them. I've got some left over. So there's a few Rocket and a few Duke of York left in the pile. I've just spoken to our trading shed what I'm going to do, bag them up, and they're going to be sold to get some money for our local air ambulance charity. Anyway, let's get on to some carrots. This is it. This is where all of our carrots will be going for the year. The earlies and the mains. We are growing Nazareth. They're generally a good all-rounder. So this bed has been covered up for the winter. Before it was covered, it was dug over, a layer of comfrey, and then a layer of compost was added. So the comfrey is all rotted down. We have recently pulled the ground sheet off. Han and I have dug the bed over because we're trying to break up the soil so it's as fine as possible. It's still a bit wet, so I'm going to give it another going over today just to break things up. And then we'll get on to carrot seed planting tips. The Royal Horticulture Society recommends spacing carrots between 6 to 12 inches apart in rows. So I'm going for the middle ground, which is about 8 inches. So I'm using this old fence panel initially just to mark out where the rows are going to go. I'm not too fussed if it's not amazingly straight at this stage, because this is just a marker at this point in time. Now we've got 5 rows where we'll plant these carrots. The next thing I'm going to be doing is just widening these. Carrots going quite close to the surface, but I'm digging them out a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. Now there's a reason for this, which I'll tell you once I've got all these dug out. One of the great things about having an allotment is your neighbours and the people that you meet up here. There's several neighbours up here that we've got. They've been here over 20 years, and the tips and the knowledge that they can give you are invaluable, really. And this is one of them. So what I'm doing next is taking some compost and mixing it with a bit of sand. We've already dug out the rows, so this will be placed into the rows and then the seeds put on top. And this is going to allow them to grow more easily down through the soil. Get some of this lovely compost in. It's a multi-purpose. We've added John Innes. I'll stop there and break this up a bit. Now we'll add some sand. Give it a really good mix. And now we're going to place this in the raised bed. Now we've got the rows in, I'm going to give them a real light watering, because I don't want to be watering the seeds after I place them, because it will disturb them. Now carrot seeds need to be sown about 1/2 inch deep and about 2 to 3 inches apart. I'm planting mine all individually by hand because I didn't really enjoy thinning them out last year. Now if we get the odd 1 or 2 going in alongside each other, that's not too bad, but I really did find it a pain thinning them. Now rather than disturbing the soil either side of the seeds, I've just got some multi-purpose compost, and I'm literally just going to cover 1/2 inch worth over the top of them. Now here's a tip from the Grow Veg YouTube channel. Place boards on top of your seedlings to regulate the temperature. And that's it. The seedlings are in. I'll be lifting the planks every couple of days just to see if there's any growth. Could take about 3 weeks for them to germinate, apparently. You may have noticed that there's some netting on here. Obviously carrot flies are quite an issue. I will need to use better netting. This is just something to go on with. Apparently, I didn't know this until recently, carrot flies can smell carrots up to 1/2 mile away. which is crazy. But the main reason for this netting is, as I was putting the seeds in, I noticed 2 wood pigeons eyeing them up. The other reason is the local foxes tend to use this bed as a lookout post. You can see from the trail cam footage, there's one there having a look around, surveying his land, and they do like to dig at the bed, probably because they're after mice or grubs. We'll keep checking these and hopefully we'll see some growth soon.
Good morning everyone. On this lovely wet day, I'm going to do some transplanting of my cabbages. They're in their little tray here, desperate to come out. Can't put them outside, the ground's too wet and cold. So I'm going to put them into pots where I won't disturb their roots when I plant them out later. They're Savoy cabbage, by the way. As you can see, the poor little things are desperate. So I've got a little twig that I use here. When you move them from pot to pot, be very careful that you don't hold the stem because you'll crush it, and try and get all the roots out. I'm going to pot them in deeper than they are in their seedy tray. So I'll pop that one in like that, and then put some compost, potting compost with some horticultural grit. They look a bit floppy, but once their roots establish properly again, they'll soon spring up. So you need to get them in deeper because you want them to have strong roots now. You don't want them flopping around when you put them outside. So that's about perfect. They are a bit of a tangle in here. A bit late doing this. I really should have started it earlier, but with the weather and so on. See, that one's got a nice root system. I'll probably just pick that one off because it's wilted a bit. Right, get it in the pot. Gently put your compost around. This is my shed, not my potting shed, so we're a little bit cramped, but it's so wet we can't go outside. And there we go, that's another one. And by doing it this way, you won't disturb the roots when you put them in their final position, and they should grow on really nicely and strongly. So once I've done them all, and they're all nicely filled with compost, I'll then give them a water with the child's watering can. Right, quite a nice water. And I'm going to pop them back in my polytunnel, and then depending on how warm the weather is, I'll be testing the soil when I come in every day and giving them a drink when they need it. So that's it really for seedlings. It's the same method for any seedling.
So it's Sunday and we're up here today because we're going to thin out the beets.
They're doing quite well. Look at them. The only thing, it says a couple growing in each little tray, so we need to make sure we've just got one in there. So that's a little job. guess what? Guess what? It's raining. Yes, 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 yes. It is raining again. It was really lovely and sunny yesterday, and now it is raining. And apparently, rain is forecast for the next 2 weeks. It's a good job I've got a polytunnel, because today I'm going to be building a table with all this wood. And all this wood was a bargain. I went to the local dump, or the local recycling centre, and picked all that up for £20. There we go. The potting table is done. We've still got room underneath to put in any plants if they need a bit of shade. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's not bad. It was really cheap materials. One thing with it though, I don't know if you can see, it looks a bit wonky. I don't know if the camera's picking it up properly, but it's at like a real angle. This isn't because I'm rubbish at building things, although I've never really had any training in woodwork, so I don't know. But the polytunnel is actually on a slant, and this is level. Honest, trust me, it is level. There we go, look. Can you see? So yeah, it looks strange, but it's not. It works. It's practical. It's gonna be good.
Thanks for watching this episode of Allotment Family Diary.
And thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to the channel. It does mean a lot, and we do try and respond to all of your comments. So feel free to leave any tips, anything you liked.
And keep watching, because we have some very exciting news coming up before long.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Wow, it's really, really exciting.
Stay tuned.